cell to Ho and to Ashama to cover up the crime. The officer that did that, in fact, the CID in charge of that case is called Michael Opoku.
Okay, but
very criminal officer.
Sir, I'm sorry. You cannot use words on people who cannot defend themselves. But what we're trying to say is that yes, if as
you understand the pain.
I understand.
Because an innocent citizen who was seeking justice was arrested unlawfully.
Okay, so what
in his own prison.
I want us to move forward. Fortunately, and like you just confirmed as well, we've had the police interdicting the two. So beyond what you've said, I was just asking you what you expect. Briefly, then we'll wrap up the conversation.
Come again?
I was asking you what you expect beyond what has been done so far.
All I expect is justice from the authority. And first of all, I would like to thank the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, John Dramani Mahama, for being a listening president.
We'll have to end it here. Thank you very much, Killian Kofi Komashi, a cousin to late Jerry Pesenu, a.k.a. Maya, and who was murdered. And as you just heard him there, the family is asking for justice after two police officers who are said to have had a hand in that murder were interdicted by the police administration. Some 15 minutes past the hour of 12. When we come back, we'll tell you more about what the health minister is saying regarding the resurgence of COVID-19 at the University of Ghana campus. Don't go away.
Ghana. It's a new year and Bills Microcredit is here to support your dreams. If you're not working but want to start a business, don't let money stop you. With just your Ghana card, you can get a loan to turn your ideas into reality. Already running a business? Need more capital? Or are you a salary worker looking for extra funds? Bills offers fast and easy loans with no collateral, no deposit, and no SUSI savings required. Wherever you are, whatever you need, Bills makes it happen. Call Bills Microcredit today. Call 0596 920 833 or 0302 200 390 and get started. Bills is licensed and regulated by the Bank of Ghana. Bills, financing your needs. Terms and conditions apply.
17 minutes past the hour of 12. You're still here on the midday news on Shri FM 92.7. Now, the Minister of Health, Kwabena Minta Kando, has assured the management of the University of Ghana, Legon, of the government's commitment to foster collaboration in the bid to contain the COVID-19 upsurge within the university community. The minister, accompanied by officials at the Ghana Health Service, was at the university to get first-hand information about the disease resurgence at the university ahead of his briefing in Parliament later today. He also used the occasion to hand over some PPEs to the university management to support their effort. Sarah Penkro is my colleague. She's also on the health desk. She joins us live on the line. Sarah, I know you've been following the minister. What more can you tell us?
Rightly so, Beatrice. So this morning the minister was at the University of Ghana. He initially met with management where they briefed him on what led to them issuing that particular communique to the university community regarding the resurgence of COVID-19 on the university campus. And then from there, he headed to the University of Ghana Health Service Department where the cases are being observed. We met a couple of students there. And I can also attest to the fact that enforcement of the COVID-19 protocols at the facility is very reactivated. Before you enter, you would be checked. They had the PPE apparel on. You have to wash your hands, sanitize, and then there is strict adherence to wearing of face masks. I see a couple of the students around wearing nose masks as well. And so he was there. He interacted with the healthcare workers. They spoke about the need for some PPEs as well as tents on the compound and other basic needs that they would need to enhance surveillance on the campus, which he also handed over some PPEs he went along with, the sanitizers, the face mask, as well as some protective gears for them to use at the health service department to ensure the cases are properly managed. So basically that was he was given first view of the situation on campus. According to the university management, the cases are beginning to decline, but they are working with the health authorities to ensure that it is contained within the university community and doesn't escalate across the university borders. You will recall that when COVID-19 started, indeed, it started from the University of Ghana campus, the APSEG, and the university community happens to be one of the hotspots of the disease, even from the time COVID came into the country. So it's a big deal for the university community. They said they have halted some public gatherings, which hasn't gone well with the students' body, but they are hoping that as the cases decline, they would be able to resume back to normal activities. Then currently, the minister is at the University of Ghana Medical Center, where, again, he has interacted with management who informed him they haven't had any confirmed case of COVID-19, although they've had suspected cases, and he's currently inspecting the facility, the emergency center, to see how prepared they are in case cases start trooping in. So this is what the minister has been doing. He said he's currently prepared to face Parliament and give them the briefing. So he wasn't able to address the media and give us much information as to the numbers that are coming in currently. He said he will put that out when he go before the House at 2 p.m. today.
Comprehensive report there, Sarah, but let me ask you this quickly before you go. Yes, the minister couldn't address the media, but in terms of the university giving details to the press, what did they tell you about the situation of those who have already contracted the virus, in as much as the numbers are dwindling?
So the university, in fact, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Gordon Awandari, explains that it was after a concert that was held in the school, then they started having the numbers spiking, and so they were suspecting that it was that particular concert that the spread took place. They are not having students on admission because the cases are mild, and I understand that the particular variant currently in the country is the Alpha. Okay, so it spread faster, but you do not have much deaths being recorded with asymptomatic. So you go to the hospital, you get tested, and then it happens that because you have come into contact with somebody who has it, with the contact tracing that is going on, they are beginning to have a lot of numbers, but not students who are critically ill.
Thank you very much, Sarah Pinkro. She's my colleague currently following the health minister, who is speaking first-hand information from the University of Ghana before appearing before Parliament today to brief the House on what he's doing regarding the surge in COVID-19 cases at the University of Ghana campus. Now, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, COMAC, projects that petrol will see a 2% increase in price, while diesel will climb up by 5%. Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, will record a 1% increase in price. Now, this will be the first time fuel prices will be going up at the pump since February 2025. It is not clear if the government will proceed with its intended 1 Cedi levy on fuel prices owing to the upward adjustment. Fuel prices stabilized selling at $65.79 per barrel after initial hikes following the Iran and Israel conflict. Despite the largely stable prices, analysts project an increment across the board. Here is Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amwa.
The numbers are indicating, yes, a potential increase. That is also because the Iran-Israeli fallout had some impact on the prices of crude, which eventually trickled down to the price of finished product on plastic. What that means is that you saw petrol go up by some $49 a metric ton within the window. Diesel did about $97. LPG did about $36. That clearly would lead to one outcome, which is a price adjustment upwards. And so we are not surprised to hear from the chamber that they anticipate prices to go up. The only caution we are delivering is that some of the OMCs should stay their prices, because when it came to prices to have declined they refuse to go down. And I say this advisedly. And so we'll be expecting some OMCs maybe could go up marginally, but we would also expect the others to have a very stable market outlook.
And you have Duncan Amoa. He is the Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. Now, meanwhile, a new survey by Global Info Analytics shows a huge support for the one Cedi fuel levy. The polls show 55% of voters actually support the levy. The government has, however, suspended the energy sector levy. We can now hear from a section of Ghanaians sharing their views on the expected increment.
Since January, the prices of fuel has decreased for a number of times, like multiple times, and we felt the effect. I mean, drivers have decreased their prices and all that too. This one being the first time that fuel prices have increased, I think maybe it's marginal. I mean, not so reasonable to the extent that it will affect prices. Probably in the next month, prices will be fuel prices will be maintained.
It will affect all aspects of life. It will affect the food. It will affect the transport. Like me, it really affect me because of the transportation.
This is my first time I've seen lorry fare being reduced. So if he has been able to do this, he should. The magic he did, or he tried to do to make this work, he should add more pushing so that the fuel can stay.
A section of you there sharing your views with us regarding the possible increment in the prices of petroleum products. Well, a cross-section of you as well have welcomed the rollout of increased data bundle packages for consumers effective today, Tuesday, the 1st of July, 2025. This follows a new directive from the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovations. The announcement made last month by the Sector Minister Samuel Nate George requires all three major telecoms operators, MTN Ghana, Telecel Ghana and AT Ghana, to increase the volume of data offered under existing bundles while maintaining current prices. Let's hear from you.
This is a very good idea, and I want to see it happening because, in Ghana, they say stuff and then sometimes it doesn't happen. So for me, if it happens, it's a good news because I'm an artist, I create content, it's data that I use. So we all need it. And looking at the standard living of Ghanaians, data is really taking much money from Ghanaian youth.
Though we are happy that as you are increasing the data for us, but one more thing is that sometimes when you buy the data and you own your data, just seconds, even the network will be poor, but seconds when you check the balance of your data, then it's finished.
It's good news, yes, because for me like this, I purchased the 350 bundle. That's like 92 gig. Yes, that's crazy amount of money, to buy for 92 gig. For me, that's a very big news for me. To really help me, yes, because I'm a content creator and a musician as well.
And we heard you there. The People's National Convention has also petitioned the Asantehene Otumfuose to do the second over what it describes as unlawful suspension and human rights abuses against the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Isaba Tokonu, and we'll bring you more of that in our subsequent bulletins. And let's go to our neighboring country because another street protest scheduled to hit the major towns of the Republic of Togo today has been suspended following the deployment of several military and police officers to some assembling points in the country by the Togolese government. The officials in that country in the last few days have been responding with brute force to spontaneous street protests led by the youth to demand the resignation of President Faure Gnassingbé, who has been ruling the country since 2005 after taking over from his father, Iyadema Gnassingbé. Voter Regional correspondent Faisal Abdul Idrisu is our man monitoring situation in Togo. He joins us live on the phone. Abdul, tell us more. Hello, Faisal, can you hear me?
Hi, Beatrice.
Okay, if you can tell us more about what you've monitored regarding what's going on in neighboring Togo.
Yeah, so yesterday there was an indication from the youth that they were going to hit the streets again today. That came after the press release from the government on Sunday, appearing to be blaming individuals and some other persons outside the jurisdiction for what is going on here in Togo. So this morning, just as the expectation was that the youth would turn the streets again, we are seeing a huge number of deployment of military and police officers across the various assembly points that they have been using for these very protests since it started. Areas including the roundabouts, public service places, markets, and all strategic points within the major towns that are supposed to be places where the youth will converge for the demonstration. A huge number of police and military officers have been deployed there. So, as I speak to you, the Adakpame, Amutievi, Kegwe, and the manifesto areas, these are areas which have become a hotspot for the protests since it started. These areas have become so quiet and calm today because of the presence of the military and police officers deployed to the areas.
We'll have to end it here with you. Thank you very much, Faisal Abdul Idrisu. He's a man monitoring events in Togo. Of course, you'll be keeping us updated as and when there's information coming through from that country. My name is Beatrice Adu. Thank you very much for joining us today. Log on to srinews.com for more news. Have a good afternoon.
Well, hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7 with me, Michael Obodu. Coming up, Ghana Cedi tipped for modest gains this week as World Bank support IMF disbursement expectations and weak dollar outlook boost market sentiment. Also, new survey finds 59% of Ghanaians experiencing improved quality of life amid economic recovery. We'll bring you the details. And Traders Group raises red flag over new tariff hikes as 15% VAT on insurance takes effect. We'll hear from General Secretary Nana Opoku warning of soaring consumer prices. Details of these and many other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go anywhere. Well, thank you so much for your time. Straight into our top story now, as the Ghana Cedi is expected to post a stronger performance against the US dollar in the coming week, buoyed by external financing support and a weakening dollar globally. This comes despite the Cedi's slight depreciation last week, particularly in the retail market. The following 3 Business News Desk report has the details.
Ghana Cedi's performance against the following renewed external support and continued weakness of the American greenback on the international market. According to Data Bank research, the Cedi is likely to benefit from the dollar struggle to reclaim the key 97.7 level on the dollar index. Sentiment is also being lifted by the World Bank's recent approval of $360 million to help stabilize Ghana's economy, along with expected disbursement of another $370 million from the IMF under its Economic Credit Facility program. The research outfit, however, cautions that investors will be closely watching the U.S. Federal Reserve's meeting later this month, which could influence the strength of the dollar, depending on whether the Fed signals a rate cut or decides to maintain its current policy stance. Last week, the Cedi depreciated marginally by 0.1% on the interbank market, closing at 10 cedis 31 pesos to the dollar. In the retail market, it lost 1.57% to end the week at 12 cedis 75 pesos. The local currency also weakened against the pound and the euro, trading at 17 cedis and 14 cedis 60 pesos respectively. Year to date, the Cedi's gains have narrowed to 21.75% after hitting over 41% in May.
And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, a new survey by Global Info Analytics has revealed that the majority of Ghanaians say their standard of living has improved over the past year, signaling a notable rise in public confidence in the country's economic indicators continue to show signs of recovery. The following 3 Business News Desk report has more. A new national survey by research firm Global Info Analytics suggests growing optimism among Ghanaians about the economy, with 59% of respondents saying their standard of living has improved compared to a year ago. The online poll, conducted from May 10 to 20, sampled 1,092 voters using probability random sampling and carries a 99% confidence level with a margin of error of plus or minus 3.82%. Pollster and head of research at Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, says the findings reflect a shift in public sentiment as the impact of recent macroeconomic reforms begins to trickle down to households. The reported improvement comes on the back of a stronger cedi, falling inflation, and a rise in foreign reserves. In May, headline inflation dropped to 18.4%, its lowest in more than 3 years, while a firmer cedi has led to reduced import prices for key goods like fuel, electronics, and medicines. The World Bank's recent $360 million support package is also expected to further stabilize the economy and boost social protection programs. And that was a 3 Business News Desk report. Now, the Cybersecurity Authority has issued a public alert over the growing threat of AI-generated deep fake videos promoting fraudulent investment schemes and unapproved medical products, including fake diabetic and weight loss drugs. In a statement dated June 30, 2025, the authority noted an uptick in deceptive AI-generated content, particularly on social media platforms such as Facebook. These videos falsely feature prominent figures, including the president, ministers of state, MPs, and media personalities, purportedly endorsing high-yield investment platforms and miracle cures. The CSA urged the public to remain vigilant and look out for signs of manipulation such as mismatched lip movements, robotic voice tones, and unnatural eye blinking, which are hallmarks of deepfakes. Now, the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana TAG has expressed serious concerns over a raft of upward tariff adjustments set to take effect today, warning of potential ripple effects on consumers. According to General Secretary Nana Poku, the most alarming of these changes is the introduction of a 15% value-added tax VAT on insurance. He hinted that this new levy could inevitably be passed on to consumers, leading to higher cost of goods and services.
We are calling on Insurance Commission to give exemptions or to create exemptions in the policy such that traders who are not actually, making a lot and are also contributing to the building of Ghana supposed to enjoy these exemptions. There should be exemptions such that our educational processes that we are embarking upon will not be a white elephant. And the worst of it all, if they forcefully put the 15% VAT on the insurance, what is going to happen is the traders, us, we will pass it on to Ghanaians. Eventually, the economic hardship that Ghanaians are facing is going to be more.
You heard that Nana Pokuhi is the General Secretary of the Traders Advocacy Group Ghana, TAG. Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, is demanding clarity from the Tree Crop Development Authority over a recent directive requiring importers of refined vegetable oil to register and obtain permits from the authority. GUTA is questioning the rationale behind the directive as it fears the move could disrupt market operations and affect prices. The Ghana Union of Traders Associations, GUTA, is raising concerns about a new directive by the Tree Crop Development Authority, which mandates that all importers of refined vegetable oil register and obtain a permit before continuing operations. In a letter addressed to the CEO of the authority, GUTA President Joseph Obeng said the decision appears sudden and could have far-reaching implications for both industry players and consumers. The association wants clarity on the economic reasoning behind the move and whether importers or consumer groups were consulted beforehand. Dr. Obeng noted that any policy with potential to influence supply and demand dynamics, consumer pricing, or trade processes should be subjected to broader stakeholder engagement. GUTA is calling for a prompt response and is urging the authority to consider possible adjustments or support mechanisms to reduce unintended consequences on the market. The Tree Crop Development Authority is yet to respond. And that was a 3 Business News Desk report, bringing an end to Business Daily here on 3FM 92.7. For more business stories, please visit our website, it's 3news.com/business. I am Michael Obodu. Thank you for listening. As always, please stay safe. Up next is Urban Blend, and Black Rasta is on standby. Stay tuned.